Hi, welcome to Mission for Christ Ministries, and today we have a special guest. Uh, Matter of fact, I'm going to let him introduce himself and let him take the floor and talk a little bit about who he is, what he's done, what he still continues to do. So go ahead.
Hi, my name is Dave Bray, USA on Facebook. I go by Dave Bray, USA on Facebook. It's just one of the things that helps people find me. If you look up Dave Bray, you'll get a bunch of them. So Dave Bray, USA on Facebook, if you want to find me there. Amazon, iTunes, you can find my music. Other than that, I'm a former band member of a band that many of you may have heard of called Madison Rising. I've played with them for the last 5 years, and I'm no longer a part or affiliated with that group. So, moving on, and for my own future, I decided to kind of just step out of music for a little bit and really sort of contemplate what's going on in society, what's going on in faith, and what's going on with my faith personally, as well as representing and how I was going to go about doing some of God's work with what I wanted to do in life. And inevitably, I came up with a concept called Brave Day USA. And when I thought about Brave Day USA, and when I contemplated it after reading through the Bible and seeing quite a few things that sort of stuck out to me, and one of the things that one of the passages that stuck out, one of the most that sort of evident to me was Ephesians 11 or 6:11, I believe, chapter 6, verse 11, and basically it says, "Put on the whole armor of God so that you can defend yourself against the wiles of the devil." And I thought about that, and I was like, man, it would be awesome if I could create an apparel company that did that actually, crested you with the faith on the outside. So you're not tucking a cross inside of your shirt. You're actually, you're wearing something. But I obviously took some liberties with that. I also wanted to keep a patriotic sort of element there, and the fact that I believe that faith in this country are two things that go hand in hand. I believe that America needs God more than God needs America, so we need to start sort of facing in His direction and looking to Him for guidance and looking towards, our religion a little bit more than we look towards our politics to save this country. So, long story short, I came up with the idea for Brave Day USA apparel, and I started a website, just bravedayyusa.com, and it also has some of my new music on it as well. So one of the first shirts that I put out was a JC33. It's basically a cross, just a small, very thin line across, and it has little arrows on the end of it, and it just has a JC in the top left and right corner at 33. And that was on my whiteboard for about a year, and just an image that I drew, just put up on my whiteboard one day, and decided, I'm just going to put it on a shirt and see what happens. And I did, and I had, like the first day I wore it to the post office or whatever, I had somebody come up to me, I was just like, what is it? What is that? What's the 33? What is that all about? And I'm just like, well, Christ was here on this planet with us for 33 years in order for us to learn and find out about God and what eternity in heaven and what our everlasting life could be with Him in heaven, and how we need to live our lives here basically as a reflection of what He's, wanting. And, I said to myself, that was 33 years, and He accomplished that in 33 years. I was like, my question to you is, what are you going to do with your block of life that you've been given here on this planet? Are you going to live in faith? Are you going to walk fearless in your faith? Are you going to believe, tirelessly? Are you going to be a battle-ready Christian? Because I think in this day and age, the day of the passive Christian who, gets dressed up and sneaks off to church on Sunday, comes home, has a meal, I think those days are kind of gone. We need to be wearing this armor on a daily basis. We are being outprayed and outgunned at every corner by just about every other religion, and as Christians, Sunday just doesn't cut it anymore. We need to be doing more. We need to be expressing more. And when I put on this shirt, again, put on the Brave Day USA shirt, what happened? Organic conversation happened. Somebody came up and asked me a question. And it gave me the opportunity to organically talk about Christ and talk about God, and I thought it was really, really neat. And then I did a couple more different kind of shirts. One is "Without God, There Is No Country" shirt, and it has the 6 stars from the middle of the flag field, or the star field on the United States flag, pulled pulled out of the back of the shirt, and then they're put on the front, and they are in the shape of a cross, 4 down and 2 across, or 3 across actually, 4 down. You're using the top one to make that cross, and it's the stars from the flag of the United States. And this is one of the most unique shirts that I've done, and it's actually gotten, the most attention. And again, this is a for-profit thing. I'm looking for ways to support my family right now and to support my music. I'm hoping that it gets to a point that I can pay it all forward. I want to do something really, really special for something, some way, somehow. My objective would be to help, hopefully help children learn at a young age what faith and what God and what true religion is, instead of what they're seeing on television coming from all different angles. So in a form, it's a mission. It's a little bit of a ministry, but it's organic. It's not. There's no church other than when somebody comes up and asks a question about your shirt. That's the cool thing about Brave Day USA. And one of our taglines is, walk fearless in faith and make every day a brave day. And that's when you put on that armor, you honestly feel different, because you're no longer representing yourself as a camouflaged Christian. People know when you're holding a door for them or going above and beyond and acting in a better, more kind and peaceful way to people, and they look at your shirt, they're like, oh, it's a Christian dude. Instead, just like we would do if, a Muslim guy was holding the door for us. Hey, that Muslim guy held the door for me. That was pretty cool. I want people to say, hey, that Christian guy. I want people to know where we are, and I want people to be fearless in that. I want people to understand we are here. We have not given up on our faith. We have not given up on our country. We are right here, and we're ready. And that's what Brave Day USA is all about. So that was the idea behind that. And then from there, I kept doing some music. I did a few songs. One of the most recent one, which really just sort of blew me away, because it was recorded a few months ago, and unfortunately, it was about a fallen police officer. And then after this thing happened in Dallas, and obviously Baton Rouge, it just, I don't want to say it fell in my lap, but, a couple people picked it up, and some of those videos went extraordinarily viral, millions of views, and I just thought it was, really kind of just mind-blowing, that many people that could hear or see a song in just a few days. When a musician works tirelessly for years and years, then all of a sudden something like this happens. And I don't want to say the stars aligned, but it's just one of those things that, I had the right song for the right moment in time, and it was just really serendipitous and kind of strange. But Last Call is that song, and you can look it up, Dave Bray USA on Facebook. You can just page down my stream, and there's a live version of me singing it. There's also a video that I put together for it with an organization called LESMA, and they are a media watchdog group.
Yeah, I'm going to vouch for that. I've seen the video. Speaking to the audience, I'm going to say it's a must watch. And to you, Mr. Bray, I could, the word says that those who uphold the law, enforce the law, they're ordained by God. They too are ministers. And it looks like you not only served your country as a minister in that aspect, but it seems to be turning that God is using you now here in America as a minister. He uses us in separate ways, different ways to minister. And just what you did is going to minister to a lot of people. Just that symbol, that emblem, because it means more than just something that you drew up or anything like that. It's got a meaning behind it. And I could tell, with you talking, that it is putting on the full armor that you stand by, that that that's what you've got to do first. And it's truly amazing that after, serving your country overseas, and you come here and you're called to do another kind of serving, and that's awesome. What would you say to those that want to serve their country, and unfortunately to those that believe a lie of how they think that being a soldier of any kind is being warmongers. But according to the Bible, you know, there's a time that we do have to go to war, and war must be a just war. What would you say to those that want to be serving our country and hearing all of this, and to those that are saying all of this?
I think first and foremost, if you want to serve your country, you should do it. And I believe, honestly, if more people did, there would be much less of what you see in the society today. Because what being a serviceman or woman does for you first and foremost is it breaks you down. You go through a regimented system of breaking you down physically and mentally, and they build you back up in a different way because they want everyone at the end of the day to have the same exact training, so that everyone understands all the same orders in the exact same way, and that everybody can knows how to work together as a team. And that goes for, I don't care if you're Air Force, Coast Guard, anybody, you're going to go through that kind of training. But moreover, a lot of people, I think, get a little bit confused as to what the military is. Some people say, well, I'm joining the military so I can go to college and do that. That's all fine and dandy. But there's this big thing called the portion of service that you have to do. You have to become a soldier first. And I do honestly believe that it's cut and dry for some people, that they understand that. And other people go and say, well, I didn't sort of sign up for this. And there are certain people that are meant to be soldiers, war fighters, firemen, policemen, servicemen. There are certain people that are just cut from a certain cloth, like you said. And what this goes back to a friend of mine who is by the name of Sheila Stevens. And I want to give her a plug here. She's put together something called the Valkyrie Initiative. And what the Valkyrie Initiative is basically creating a camp for people coming back, dealing with PTSD and dealing with post-traumatic and TBI and that kind of thing. So it's one of those things that she explained to me very simply, that they have actually tested the genome of firefighters. They have pulled samples and DNA from these guys, and they pull samples and DNAs from people that are lawyers and people that are just all the different sort of factions of life that you would very, very passive people that are doing things with computers, or that would not be very physically inclined to climb a ladder and rescue somebody from the building or whatever. But they found actually a common genome in basically first responders, fire, police, and military, mostly Marines and Army, that kind of area of military. And there is a certain strand that goes through them that is basically they are born to do that. They are born to do that type of service. And I actually wrote a song called Warrior Inside that it sort of talks about that, and basically says, hey, sort of embrace what you are. You're a warrior. And this is something that you and I were going to speak about a little bit, I think, when you were talking about the PTS and that kind of stuff. You are, when you go into the military, if you finish and succeed and do all that, you're a certified warrior. You're a person who has that gene. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys and gals, they come home, they're in traumatic situations, they're in combat, they get back, and one of the first things they decide to do is, well, I don't want to do that again, I'm going to get out. Well, I think the military owes them a little bit of something. I don't know what it is, whether it's training or exit strategy, something that's going to prepare them a little better for what out really looks like. Because once you are so hot committed to a warrior lifestyle or overseas in combat or whatever, I feel like you need a little bit of time to basically unwind or sort of reprogram yourself. But what I'm finding out more and more from each and every one of these situations, and I have people reach out to me quite often about people that have taken their lives. They say 22 veterans a day. It's more than that. I mean, that's on a standard. But I mean, basically the VA is pumping these people full of drugs. They're using antidepressants and all kinds of things. It's just pill after pill after pill after pill. And that's where we need to start really addressing this problem. These guys and gals are again, they're torn down to nothing. They're built up to be warriors. They've learned the ways of war. They learn that, then they go to combat. They come back, and they're not the same person anymore. They're not that same person that went in, but they still have that gene, that warrior gene, that will to fight. And when that fight is not presented on a regular scale or a regular basis, or they aren't challenged to the point where it's high intensity and adrenaline, they sink. It's basically very similar to what you see from anyone who is in the just take for example what I do. I get up on a stage. It's high adrenaline. It's very, very intense. It's fast, and then you get off that stage and everything's chill, everything's relaxed, and then once you're on that pace for years and years and years, you're in that moment. You never come down from that. You're always on that stage after a while. It just feels like the world is a stage, and then when you don't have that exit, that plan to go to on a daily basis, it's like, hold on a second, I'm not on that stage anymore, and it just, you have a tendency to sort of wind down and lower the value of yourself, because now, just like any one of these war fighters, I'm not a part of this team. I'm not a part of my unit, my platoon, my group. I'm just me out here by myself, and that loneliness can be very, very, very daunting for somebody in high intensity situations. So, again, what the Valkyrie Initiative is and what she's doing is sort of doing what I believe the military should be doing for them, basically setting up a place for them to do and work with agriculture, outdoor life, hunting, fishing, ATVs, boating, all these things. And it's going to be, she's putting it together down in Texas. But I want people to really, really look there, because if they would like to hear the song Warrior Inside, which is another really, really great song, they can go to her website, and it's Valkyrie Initiative. If you just, I can't remember if it's .org or .com. I'm sort of flubbing on that. But if you look up and search Valkyrie Initiative, you will find Sheila Stevens. You'll see what her motivation and her basically her mission is, and it's a good one. It's a solid one, and we're kind of getting behind her and wishing her the best in that, and trying to help her out as much as possible.
Well, that's the Valkyrie mission. That's you just hit something. I had been diagnosed with PTSD years back. Of course, not from serving my country, but for something else. And they threw medication after medication at me that, it was unbelievable. And I quit taking them one day. I was like, this just isn't what it is. And that's whenever I got out to, doing more street ministry and preaching to people. I found that was my healing. And I found, Chris Kyle did the thing with the shooting range, and you bring up the Valkyrie mission, and then what you do. That is the key, I believe. And, you just said it. I mean, the VA, in my opinion, does not do enough. And what they have done, in my opinion, is going in the wrong direction for things such as PTSD. I don't think that medication is always the answer. And is that kind of what you're saying?
Well, I mean, again, every situation and circumstance is different, right? And
Right.
I'm just saying from the majority of people that I've spoken with, that have sort of come to me and said, hey man, because I've offered to help anyone that ever needs the help. If they want to talk to me, I'm more than happy. I'm not certified or qualified, but I will listen. I got a good ear, and I get back to what works for me and what has worked for me, because I've dealt with issues myself. And when I put down, whether it's drinking every once in a while or whatever, if I focus on something about being productive, being creative, and actually physically get out and work out and sweat and eat clean and put better things in my body, put down the chew and just do what really needs to be done and live a cleaner, healthier, happier life. Better things happen in your life for you, first off, because you make better decisions. You're not making decisions around other things. And basically, your body feels better, and you start to yearn for endorphins. And that's a healthy antidepressant. And I believe that endorphins are a natural way for humans to deal with things like Yes, I mean, I have friends that jump out of airplanes so they can get the adrenaline rush. You know what I mean? But it's natural endorphins that can help because they can be replenished at your pace, and all you're gaining out of it is more health. You're not sitting on a couch taking a pill trying to feel healthy, if that makes sense, and then watching the news and getting depressed, and then getting more depressed by finding out, like, whether you lost a job or whatever. It's just, I believe that you have to build your world from the inside out, and you have to create it in health and good diet and exercise, and nobody is really pushing that MO. I mean, I don't know who it was. I think it was Einstein that said, most of the world's medicine will be gone once we learn how to eat properly. I mean, if we learned what to put in our body, instead of eating the junk coming out of, Monsanto, or whatever that crap is, everything, comes out of a bag or a box, is all just, it's all produced garbage. It's crap. There's barely any nutritional value in it. And basically what it is, it's filled with hormones. Even our meat is filled with hormones. It's just, we don't have a very, very good eating system in this country. That's the reason we have, obesity is an issue, childhood obesity is an issue. Again, if we as a country can learn how to eat properly, that'd be a great step, I think, towards a healthier nation and a healthier lifestyle. I mean, again, it works when you do it, but you have to be diligent. You have to have willpower, and willpower is a hard thing to learn. It's a hard thing to build. You got to build it brick by brick, day by day.
Wow. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And the short abbreviation for that is MSG. That's very is deadly. I mean, and you're right. There was a while back. There was a dog food product that was actually killing dogs because it had some ingredient in there that was, I guess you would say, identical to antifreeze, which, and that was a dog manufacturer. So, imagine what they're, doing with humans on that. But what I hear out of you is is discipline, and we got to have that willpower. We got to love ourselves, and I gather that, in a sense, that is kind of your way, and many others, it's their way of feeling a part of something again when they come home, because you, like you said, you feel better, and if you feel better, you think better. If you think better, you make better decisions. You make better decisions, you got a better life.
That's it.
And
that's it. It's one of those things that we are surrounded by rewards, and we are not surrounded by positive rewards in this country. I mean, it's every corner there's a cigarette distributor or a vape shop, or an adult bookstore, or a booze or liquor outlet. I mean, everything in this country, if you take a look around, it's all self-rewarding. Like, oh, well, I had a great week and I did this and I worked hard and I deserve to go out and I'm going to drink a 30-pack or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, why don't you do that, like, at the end of, you saved, $8,000 and the first 6 months of the year, and then reward yourself. But we just get wrapped up in these circles. We get push ourselves to be in these circles, and we can't break out of them. We keep going back. We always rotate back. And this is where, again, faith for me has been key. I mean, you are not going to get out of these circles if you don't get on your knees and just say, hey, listen, I don't want to wake up and feel like garbage anymore. I don't want 3 days out of my life to be ruined every weekend because I decided to reward myself or overindulge or whatever. It's one of those things that you have to get down on your knees and just be like, okay, I'm not doing it today. Today I'm not doing it. I'm using God. I'm using Christ. I'll use whatever I need to. If I got to drink 14 pots of coffee today, I'm not going to drink a beer. Or if I got to eat 4 bags of Oreos today, I'm not going to smoke a cigarette or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. But as long as you're not going in that direction,
right,
the one that you're in, that one that puts you back in that cycle, the one that puts you mentally in that distressful place, that dark place filled with paranoia and question, and what am I going to do, and what's going to happen tomorrow, and I'll never make it to the end of the month, and bills, and this, that, and the other thing. That's the stuff that you got to give to. You got to give it to Christ, man. You got to pass that stuff to Jesus and be like, okay, just take this away from me today. And if you feel it creeping back in, get back down on your knees. I've been in the parking lot of grocery stores and been on my knees, before getting in my car. I've begged and pled. I mean, I've been in some crazy dark places, but the only thing that helps, the only thing that gets you through those darkness and those places is the faith and finding a way to get past those crutches, finding a way to get past those self rewards that you believe you deserve when you don't. You haven't earned those rewards. So I mean, that's again, that's what works for me. I think that it's a philosophy that could still work for other people, but it's definitely one that comes with some willpower. There's definitely been days where, you're not sure if you're going to make it through, and you end up having to be, you feel powerless, and it's like, man, I need this energy, I need something, please help me, God, come into my life, please, and he never fails, and it's a blessing, to have that.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and you're right. I think we lean too much as a society into doing things based off what we're going to get materially, rather than what gifts we already have by God. If we could take a look at that, then we would realize that we don't need a $50 gift just for completing something that we should be doing anyway. And I think I call it the cupcake generation, the ones that expect rewards when they've done nothing to get them. And so you really nailed that. And I've watched some more of your interviews, and there's other topics that I hope one day that we could do interviews with, because you could resonate with so many people. I could tell that already. I mean, whether it be with your brothers and sisters of the Marines, brothers and sisters of Christians, you could really resonate that. Your music is your ministry, your business, your shirts and hats, that's your ministry. And with that said, I know you said that you had a few minutes, and I think I've taken more than yours. So I want to.
Thank you very much for having me on. I greatly appreciate it. Remember, people, if you want to get involved, you want to get, you want to feel like you're walking fearless in the faith with me, I would appreciate that. Go to Brave Day USA or DaveBrayUSA.com and check out the stuff on the site there. Or just go to my Facebook page, Dave Bray USA, and look around, see what you like, see what you're feeling. Again, it's just me and my wife and my kids. I mean, I'm the person who orders the shirts. I go pick up the blanks. I take them to the print shop. I actually print and pull the screens. I dry them. I fold them. I package them. I label them. I ship them. I do it all. So it's between me and my kids. They help me bag up. They help me with the labels. So if you end up getting a shirt that the label, the little sticker on the outside of the bag is, looks kind of weird, it's probably because one of my boys probably drew the size on it for that shirt. But anyway, long story short, it's a family affair. My wife Becky, she's tireless and works so hard to try to keep this thing going. We've all worked so hard to try to keep it going. We're really hoping to get a little support from the Christian community, because we do believe that this is a clothing line that's not just something that you wear, but you're actually putting on in faith. And I believe personally that when you do put it on, you're going to walk a little taller, with your head a little higher, with a little more pride in yourself. And I think when you do that and you realize that you're being judged by what you're wearing as being judged by a Christian, you too will make better decisions in your life. You'll walk more kindly, more patiently, and engage people in a different way. And I think that that's what we need more in this country. I mean, we have to learn to love the strangers. You know what I mean? We have to learn to get outside of our boxes and do things that we normally wouldn't do. Paying it forward, just start the wave, and make things happen. That's it. That's all we can do. We can we can do that, or we can sit on our computers and hate each other. So I'd rather people get out there, put on the Brave Day USA shirt, walk fearless and safe, and represent the faith in a positive light, and continue on with our ministry and continue on with our mission, and organically engage people in conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I will definitely share this with other churches that I visit. I think I'm going to order me and my husband a shirt, actually. Check it out. If you would, hold on one second. I'm going to just say, folks, again, this is DaveBrayUSA.com. Is that correct?
Yes, Dave, D-A-V-E, Bray, B as in boy, R-A-Y, DaveBrayUSA.com.
Okay, and the Valkyrie Mission.
The Valkyrie Initiative.
The Valkyrie Initiative. So, audience, make sure you check that out. I'm going to give Dave Bray the last word. If that was what you wanted to say, unless you have something more you want to say, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, just thank you so very much. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to kind of ramble here. It's been a pleasure to be on with you. I look forward to hopefully talking again. If I could just offer a quick word of advice to our nation, don't let us be outprayed. I mean, there's other religions are praying 5 times a day.
Yes.
We are being outprayed and petitioned, by God, and I'm telling you, this country needs God more than God needs this country. So it's up to us if we want to keep it the way it is and keep things law and order, if we want to keep our Constitution, our family, our positive education, our police, our fire, our way of life. We have to find a strong and uniting bond in faith that reaches beyond color, race, and religion. I mean, that we have to all come together as faithful people and show kindness and love to each other. If we don't, then I got a feeling that the government will try to step in and make us, or there will be worse comprehensive repercussions at the end of the day. So if we can't show that we can be civil, I concern with the outcome of this country if we can't, because someone has to be the bigger brother. When I say to my kids, one of you has to be the bigger brother and do the right thing, whether it's the youngest or the oldest. And I find them both making the right decisions, and it's good. So let's make the right decisions, open up conversations, walk fearless in faith, and thank you very much. God bless you. Have a great day.
Mr. Bray, you were ending with something that I would like to maybe one day set up an interview and discuss with you about where our country's headed. If you don't mind, one day, would you give me a call? I'd like to hear you on that, if you don't mind.
Okay, just we'll set up the same way we did this one. I had a good time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, you too. God bless. Folks, that was Dave Bray, a wonderful person. Please check out his music. I tell you, especially just got notice that we have a campus officer presumed drowned, and that is on the Officer Down Memorial page. But it is important that you check out his music, check out his apparel. It's obvious that he's a minister in many ways. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called, and this man, Mr. Bray, is qualified. He served our country. And I agree with him that our country is in bad shape, or it could be headed in bad. That ain't what he said. He said that he's concerned where the country may be heading. And he said that the importance of, loving one another and looking past skin color is, that's the antidote for this disease, is love. Plain and simple. This is Pastor Trina signing off. MissionForChristMinistries.com. I want to thank you all for joining me. Thank you and God bless. And thank you to Mr. Dave Bray. Till next time.